Welcome. Thanks. MP had me like, you're not sure to keep going. So we're talking today. I shot out a video earlier. We're talking today about some things that we did really well in the first quarter and what we can do better going forward, what we've learned, how our first quarter was. And then we're going to kind of do a little role play behind the scenes of how here at the Trembley Group we get better in our conversations. So Andrew just shared some things. Steve, give me an idea. I know you just got going with us, but tell me, your first quarter. Like, tell me how you felt, how you did, and biggest thing is what you've learned.
So my first quarter here at the Trembley Group, which is short since I'm new, I want to say taking full advantage of the tools that we have was like one of the most important things, because it's something that I'm pretty new on, and something that I enjoy, but it comes down to a point where you have a database and you have the tool that makes it alive. And it comes down to what Andrew was talking about, where you just want to keep following up consistently, not only with the people that are looking to buy in the next 30 now from till about 60 days. But also keeping in touch with people that are looking to buy in the future, because building that relationship and digging deep with them, when it comes that they're ready, they're going to think about the person that wanted more from them, that was looking for more information, that dug deep with them, made that relationship and know exactly what they're looking for. So that's a little of the first quarter, and also something I learned here, which I want to do better on.
Let me ask this question. What I'm hearing is that relationship, they need to understand like who's going to bring me the most value, right? So I'm gonna drill down with you a little bit. What's the biggest fear that you've overcome since you've been here?
I think the biggest fear I've overcome is really getting on the phone, but also asking them the hardcore questions. Because, since I became a real estate agent, usually if they open up that route, I'll go down, but now I'm creating that route and creating that tunnel and just digging deep, finding out, what they have, what they want, what's their motivation, why they don't want to be where they are, and why they want to be somewhere else.
So what's the biggest thing moving into the second quarter, something that you've learned that you're going to implement into your business in the second quarter? Like, what's one thing that if I'm going to do this, is going to help me get here?
On initial conversations, I want to really bring it heavy, have more time on the phone with them, but also bring, just go straight down to the nitty gritty and start asking people, why are you moving here? What do you have? And start setting appointments right there before we get off the phone. All right, I'm going to check this out, get this information, get back to you. It's more than that. I'm going to do this for you. I need you to do this for me. And then we're going to exchange information, and it'll just be in a circle. So we're collecting information from each other and just building that relationship.
It's full collaboration. What's your goal for the second quarter?
My goal for the second quarter, I want to ratify 15 deals. 15 deals?
Yes. Okay. Mr. Eric. Nice. That was good. So, tell me about your first quarter. How was your first quarter?
It was an up and down battle at some points, but overall it was successful in the fact of learning and developing. It wasn't number-wise what I wanted to be in any way, shape, or form, but I came in January 2nd with basically nothing. And I feel like I've taken 3 steps. I have many more steps to take, but just understanding the business, understanding LP Mama, and digging in deep with questions. I feel like the last almost 4 months, I'm a world away from where I first began at. So in that aspect of things, it was an extremely successful first quarter. Exact sales-wise, wasn't successful at all in my opinion, but from where I started at until now, I'm much more confident.
So you ratified 5. Ratified 5, What I heard that you learned something. Did you learn something?
I learned everything.
Freaking learned something. I love it. So we're doing something right. Let's
100%. Yes.
All right. So tell me this: the biggest thing. There's a lot, right?
Oh yeah.
that you took from the first quarter? Sum it up for me.
Well, the biggest thing, and I've said it a couple of different times, is not just digging in deep with the clients, but allowing myself to open up and open up to the clients. If I'm sheltered in and I don't want to give of myself, my clients aren't going to give.
Right.
I've really learned the importance of that. It's stuff that you say that, oh yes, you should do that.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to doing it, not being fearful of allowing yourself to be open.
Say that again.
Different. Opening yourself up. And
not being what?
Not being afraid to open yourself up.
Yes, I love it.
So that was by far the biggest thing. Just a transition of mindsets from previous career into that, and it's been powerful, and it will continue to be.
And you and I had an awesome conversation about 45 days ago or so. Is that about right?
30 or 40.
45 days, yeah. A lot to do with that.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Went from 1 to 4. So.
Yeah. I felt a lot of movement in that conversation.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yes.
Kudos to you for being aware and embracing it. What's one really powerful, cool thing that you're going to take into the second quarter?
I think one big focus, and I had kind of coming into this week even working on it, was the balance. Kind of Stephen, Andrew both touched on it as well. Is you have your clients that are either in town, or you have your hot clients. Then you have your watchers and nurturers who are 3 to maybe a year out of actually purchasing. Having a balance between really digging deep in on your hots and making sure we're viewing the right homes, but also staying consistent in touching base with them. I need to do a lot better job of staying consistent with the folks that are a little bit more further out from purchasing.
Yeah. If you don't, somebody else does.
Correct.
Right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Your database is your business is your database.
Yes.
What's your goal for the second quarter?
I hadn't set it completely, but I would.
We're getting ready to set it.
Yes. Doesn't like putting me on the spot.
Yeah. But we never do that around here.
No. Why would you do something like that? Let's go with 20.
Yeah, for the second quarter?
Yeah.
So April, May, June.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, sir. Miss Laura, I'm going to ask you the same questions here. So my first question is everybody get it. Everybody zone in here. How was your first quarter?
I came in here not knowing a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just following my gut.
Yeah.
And I'm killing it, and I don't know how I'm killing it, but I'm doing it.
Yeah. So Laura has sold, I think it was 11 in the first quarter. Was it 11? And she's never sold real estate until she met us, right?
Real estate wasn't even on my radar.
Yeah.
It just happened.
Yeah. Super, super awesome.
What was your start date?
January 2nd.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. Okay.
It was January, so yeah.
So it was a full first quarter, but
Yeah, it was.
Well,
I can't remember.
Well, I didn't make my first sale until I got back from my cruise.
Yeah.
And it's been wide open since then.
All right, so everybody go on a cruise.
Yeah.
That's it. It's all in for cruise. We are cruising.
Mandatory meeting.
Yeah. That's it. I like that one. I really love it. So, it's, once again, just like with Eric, Steve, Andrew, it's been a lot,
It's been a whole lot to learn.
Give me something like one powerful thing.
What's happening right now was the relationships that I started through the CCS team when I was doing my cold calling.
Yeah.
They're all coming in this week.
Yeah.
But because I kept the relationship going with them.
Yeah.
Between last week, this week, and next week, I'm going to see 12 different clients.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yes.
And they're ready. They're ready to buy. Week that's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming.
Yes. All right, so come on. Give me, that's awesome. Give me something else. Give me one more thing. I know I really have a really good understanding of why you're doing what you're doing, but give me one really powerful thing that's changed your mindset, or maybe a fear that you overcame. Give me something. I get the database thing. That's awesome. We have an incredible database, and you follow the process.
Yeah. Not being afraid to ask questions.
Yeah. That's your number one thing.
And letting them know who I am and what matters to me.
Yeah.
Because them finding their dream for that moment is what matters the most.
Yeah.
Because you can overcome all the rest of the stuff. You just have to really know what they want.
Yeah. If they know that you care and you have no fear, that's a good formula for success. You know?
Can you just say that like 3 more times?
Well,
let this sink in for a second.
Well, when I had a conversation with somebody the other day because they were questioning me. And I said, you hired me because you believed in me.
I love it.
Keep believing in me because I'm not going to let you down. I promise you that.
Yeah. Boom. Everybody get that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's with anybody or anything in my life. I run my business like I do my life.
Yes.
It's personal.
Yeah. So we talk all around here about being fearless, right? And that is a definition of fearless. But it starts with believing in yourself. And if you believe in yourself that you can truly change lives and help others, just go forward and be fearless. And speak the truth. Be convicted about it. What's on your heart, share it with them, and then ask another question.
Just believe in yourself.
Just believe in yourself. So,
But
what
I heard you say was the most important thing at that moment is understanding the client and their dream and helping them get their dream, right?
Right.
So does that sound like somebody who's gonna like answer a text message in the middle of a conversation?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
no. Like you're totally focused and trying to help understand their dream, not through that.
Well, they're the most important person in my life at that moment.
Oh, love it.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
there you go.
And they need to know that. They need to feel it.
Yes.
I'm guessing they do.
Yes.
Thank you.
How about the video that was played? You know, gotta be focused, you gotta be determined.
I had that conversation this morning.
Right? Yeah, you can handle it. I'm telling you guys, the funniest thing that was said to me in real estate was my buddy Jim years ago said, guys, you just need to listen to this dude. There could be a naked woman walk across the back of the room and ST would not even know that she was there because he's laser focused. Now I questioned that, but he's laser focused and you're just dialed in, laser focused to changing their lives, and you believe it. Because I mean, she just told me I'm changing their life.
I am.
Yeah, and they'll have come to Jesus meetings because she's going to lead the process, right?
I do.
Right? But when you do that in life too, I mean, I have to have come to Jesus meetings with all my kids, but they're going to follow my lead because they know I truly care, and that's how your clients need to feel. And when they know that, it's like, what do I do, Laura? What else do I need to do, right? It's great. What's your second quarter goal?
I didn't. Don't put me on that spot because I have no idea. I didn't know what my first quarter was.
Well, you did 11 in the first quarter, so
I know.
it's got to be at least more than 11.
Oh gosh, I'm probably going to have that this month.
Yeah.
I mean, what's today? The 11th.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. There you go.
So I'd say at least 20.
Yeah. For the
Maybe more.
For the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. Good stuff there. Sarah, you've just been with us for a short amount of time. She's just been with us. She's on the inside sales agent, client care specialist side. So I'm going to keep it fairly brief. 2 things though. First, why were you inspired to be with us?
Well, I met Laura. I don't know if everybody knows that I purchased my house. There's actually the first time I met Laura was February 15th. So you were just fresh out of license and all that, and just the relationship, how the importance of the relationship that your company and everybody here goes to build with the clients makes you feel like your family.
Awesome.
And I didn't feel for once like we were buying a house.
Right.
You go to a car dealership. What's your first thought? You're like, oh, they just want my money.
Yeah.
I never felt that way.
Yeah.
With you guys, so and that influenced me to apply to see what opportunities I could have here.
Yes. And just the second question is, and she's just been with us. This is her 3rd day, so very, very brief. I just started, which we're super excited. But in a couple days, you've been seeing all this stuff going on. You learned about one thing that you've learned and been like, this is super cool. They do this, or this is how they work. What's one thing that you've seen?
I can't name one. I've seen so much. Just the whole process of where it starts from the beginning of, just the simple fact of somebody looking on Zillow and then us calling them, getting a lead, and then transferring to the agent, and just the whole process that goes into the entire transaction of purchasing a house. And I've seen both sides. Now I've seen your end, and I've seen the side that I had, waiting on paperwork, telling us what we had to get for our loan to go through, what we had to meet to close. So I've seen both sides of it.
Kind of cool how it all mends together, matches together. Yeah. That's awesome. we're super excited to have you, and you have a lot more that you're going to be learning. Yeah. We'll be learning with you. All right, Chuckster. Chuck is our rock star client care specialist, inside sales agent. Was responsible in 2017 for about 120.
Yep, about 120 transactions.
Yeah. So same thing. How was your first quarter? And we'll kind of roll down some of these questions. Tell me about that. How'd you feel about it?
First quarter, as always, just like it was when I first started with you my first year, it was great. Just like in any type of business, you have your ups and your downs, but that's where I feel, you really need to embrace it the most, because that's where you learn from as well as gain the most confidence.
Yeah.
So my first quarter, I thought went great. I'm super excited to be, working with the amazing team and, full-time agents we have. So just blessed to be where I'm at and happy.
Oh yeah. Everybody in the room that knows, doesn't think, but knows Chuck is a rock star, raise your hand. This guy is a rock star.
Thank you, guys.
He is literally like an internal coach for us, right? Which I'm always so blessed to let you lead with that and hopefully help you become better at that. But give me something powerful that you learned, because you always learn, which I love. Something powerful that you learned from your first quarter.
Well, I think, one thing that I really focused on my first quarter that I learned from the most, have been, trying to really focus on it since college, my senior year, really. And it really played a big impact on me, I think, in the first quarter, is self-awareness. I keep reverting back to it because self-awareness, if you're self-aware of yourself, is going to, allow you to best serve your clients, as well as give you more confidence and knowledge. So I think if I can continue to grow on my self-awareness, who I am, what I'm good at, how I can use that to benefit others, then I'll continue to grow my business and personal life as well as, professional life. So
that's awesome. One powerful thing you're going to use second quarter and throughout this year that you've learned. It could be from the first quarter, anything you've learned with us, but one powerful thing is you're like, what, I'm taking this to another level. You're always going to take stuff to another level. Well, give me something.
That's a good question. I think, the biggest thing that I'm definitely going to continue to do, which allows us as a company to take it to the next level, as well as myself as a CCS, is direct transfers.
Yeah.
That's something we're going to continue to implement. We're going to continue to fine tune it. That's why we're going to be practicing role play, that transition. So that's definitely one thing I want to continue to focus on. And in that aspect, what I'd like to, really hone in on this next quarter is the transitioning of it, because the biggest time in real estate, or when things or the ball is dropped, is on the transition.
Yeah.
So I really want to focus on making that transition as seamless as possible, just like I've been doing, and make it very clear to that client, you will be receiving other calls, but there's no need to answer them because you're in the best hands possible with us here at the Trembley Group. So I really want to continue to focus on it, implement it, and see how I can continue to grow my LP Mom to make it an even stronger client for my full-time agents.
Yes. Do we run the race to win?
No.
Yeah. Oh, do we run it to win?
Oh, yeah.
Nope. I love it. All right, so just real quickly to bigger goal for Chuck with the company, things we've been talking about. Where are you headed? Some of you guys may or may not know this. Where are you headed with the company?
Well, as you mentioned, I always, have dreamed of becoming, a life coach, be able to teach people what I do successfully, grow myself and grow with them as a team. But the transition we're looking to make is, continue staying in the coaching aspect, but transition into the full-time agent more on the listing side. Yeah. So that I can really start to grow the business, and jump into that coaching aspect and continue to give qualified leads that, I might not be able to service because my business is so busy. Yeah. Like Mr. Jeremy James back here, access that happens. Yeah. And give more qualified leads in that position to my agents as well. So that is a transition we're looking to do, is going to a full-time listing coordinator for the company.
Yeah, awesome. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Miss Jess, how we doing? Doing good. How was your first quarter?
It was awesome.
Awesome?
I mean, maybe not sales-wise, but it was awesome. I learned a lot.
Yeah, I think it was pretty awesome though. So your first quarter, was it 9 or 8?
It was actually 8.
It was 8? Mm-hmm. So tell me about something, and I know you're learning a lot too. Heck, we all are, right? She's like, Coach T, I got a question for you. I got to quit. I'm like, bring it, So give me something powerful that you learned from that first quarter.
Excuse me.
I learned a lot about contract work.
Yeah.
A lot about verbiage.
Yeah.
From Shannon, who's amazing, but really going through that with a fine-tooth comb, I learned a lot about that.
learn not to be fearful.
Yes. Yeah.
Still creeps in sometimes, but
Yeah.
I'm getting better at it. So, yeah, I've learned a lot, both aspects.
Yes. So give me your second quarter goal. April, May, June.
I'd like to sell 15 more homes, 15 to 20.
Yeah.
During April, May, and June.
Yeah. So say that again. You were going to sell?
I'm going to sell.
Nice.
We'll say 18.
18?
I'm
All
going
right.
to go for a big one.
18 it is. What is one thing that you're going to do that's going to help you achieve just one thing that you've learned from, gained from somebody in the room? I don't know, something you've gained that you're like, this is something I know I need to do to achieve my second quarter goals.
I need to hone in more on my nurtures and watches, and
That's kind of a theme. Yeah.
yeah, I need to get back into that. I was doing pretty well for a while, and then it dropped off. So I need to hone back in because I know the summer's coming up. It's getting ready to be super busy.
Yeah.
A lot of people are ready to shop during that time. So
Yeah. Database domination, right?
yes,
Just like we talked about with Eric. If you don't, somebody else will, right?
Yes.
We've all seen that and experienced it. Awesome. Thank you so much. Miss Christina, how was your first quarter?
My first quarter, I feel like it started off pretty strong, and then kind of let life get the best of me, so I kind of fell short a little bit. But
Yeah.
not gonna let anything hold me back on this next quarter, that's for sure.
No doubt. We've had some amazing conversations through your time here, for sure. Give me something powerful that you learned in that first quarter.
I keep going back to it, but I really need to keep on that track of believing in yourself and being respected.
Yes.
And if you're
Yeah.
respected, then they will like you. So I
Yeah.
need to start slowing down a little bit more on the front end, even if I have to take a step back, so I can bring them 110% and just completely lead the process.
Yeah.
And have confidence that I can do that.
And there's a lot of nuggets in there to respect it and lead the process, and that's super good. And that's really impacted you, I know, big time. All right, your second quarter goal, April, May, June.
I'd say I need to get back in 100%, so let's do 20.
Yeah, 20 it is. 20 it is. All right, so I know the respected life, and I want you to definitely live there. But give me one thing in your business that you're going to consistently do that's going to make a difference and help you achieve those second quarter numbers.
I really want to just dominate that first initial conversation.
Yeah.
I think I might reread that book again. You gave us that
4-2 formula. Yes.
That really impacted me in the beginning of starting this business, and
Yeah.
I think that first initial conversation is one of the most important ones to start that relationship with your clients, and
Yeah.
that way every time you talk to them, it just gets deeper and deeper. And
Yes.
don't wait to ask that question, that second conversation. Just keep asking questions the first one.
I probably read that book 5 times. I've broken it down with cell teams and actually read chapters with them. But anyway, it's a great reread because you know so much more now, you know, that it'll be even more of an aha. I think it'll be a really smart move.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much. As you know, we're super excited to have you, and there's no doubt you're going to kill this second quarter.
Thanks.
For sure. No fear, right?
No fear.
I love the domination of the first conversation, though. Yeah, we're getting ready to talk about that. JJ, how about you? How about you, my friend? How was your first quarter?
That was okay.
Yeah, it was all right. Decent?
Could have been better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jeremy did about 5 million.
6.
I'm a 6. Quick correction. The hell with 5. I did 6. So 6.
Should have been 10.
Yeah, right. One big thing that, you know, we're always learning and growing, you and I both. One big thing you learned from that first quarter.
Ooh. You know, what I've been working on lately. I mean, I'm always learning something. But I've read a couple of great books just about being, you know, taking communication to the next level and being really intentional. And I'm actually like what we're talking about today, and that it all comes together. It's funny how, you know, you have these times in life where everything kind of points in the same direction, but I'm excited about some stuff that I've got for role play meetings that'll be coming up in the future. But just being really intentional with the clients, being intentional with you guys, my business partner, my wife, my kids, like everybody in life. Like, I mean, your life happens one conversation at a time, and it goes up or down suddenly, gradually, then suddenly, based on those conversations. And so just kind of studying and learning and always getting better on, being a great communicator.
Yeah. And I've had to do that in my life, bringing together, getting married, bringing together 5 kids. We have a lot going on. I've got to slow down with Kristen because, it's the natural thing there is to lose total, you got all these kids and you take care of all of them, and the natural thing would be to forget about each other, right? And not dig deep there. So we're very intentional about digging deep and understanding each other better and just really building a powerful relationship. First and foremost, because we want our kids to see that and also know that those things happen out there. I don't want that to happen. Same thing with all relationships we have. Our relationship, yours with clients, I mean, you gotta have it. And movement happens and lives get changed, worlds get changed, and you can do anything that's, like above. In our kitchen, we've got anything is possible up there. Anything is possible if you believe it and you have strong conversations. What's one powerful thing you're gonna take into the second quarter that's gonna allow you? Well, let me back up. What is your second quarter goal?
Well, I have a 90-day goal.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Can we launch that one out there?
You can throw it out there. Yeah.
All right. So we're actually working on in 90 days. I'd like to be headed more towards coaching, training, and recruiting full time.
Yeah.
So that's our plan. That's the ultimate goal for the company. It's just going to help us all get to the next level, and allow us to bring on more leaders in the sales area. So I'm really excited about that. That's my main 90-day, 120-day goal. Kind of in that time frame. So later on this summer.
Yeah.
That being said, I'd like to, I did 20 in the first quarter, probably still do about 20, 25 deals while I'm stepping in that direction.
Yeah.
Does that sound fair enough?
Yeah, I think it's spot on, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. Keep the price point out there. Like I did a good job of that in the first quarter. So.
Yeah. So you had some great lead-ins to where we're headed, but real quickly, share something we all value. First of all, Jeremy Jinks, hand raised if he's awesome. Right? Pretty awesome dude, right?
All right, he kept their hand down. I know. Somebody did. Yeah.
But share something with the because we're willing to help these guys, right? We're always going to help each other, want to bring value. Share something. You're reading some great books. We're having some great conversations. We're thinking much bigger, and but share something that you truly believe in your heart from what you've learned that could help everybody in this room conquer their business more, be more efficient, have more fun with it, bring more value. Just share something. You got a lot of value up there, man.
Let me give you up here, rolling around up here. Yeah, that's all.
We're gonna pull it out. We're gonna pull it out.
Let me give you a little tip. So it's really funny. So I'm reading this book called Fierce Conversations. Phenomenal. I recommend it for anybody.
Yeah. Write that one down, guys. That's a great one. Fierce Conversations.
Great book
by
Susan Scott. Fierce Conversations, and it will help you in anything you do in life, right? So. I'm going through this book and I'm thinking about it, and I'm talking to Megan about it a little bit, and we were talking about all kinds of things, but she goes, "Oh yeah, you're generally trying to get people off the phone, aren't you?" And I was like,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm busy. I've got a lot of deals. I've got a lot of stuff going on. Like when a seller gets on the phone and blasts me for 30 minutes about something, I'm like, "Get me out of here!" So I start answering emails and all that stuff. Now, what did Laura just say? About understanding their dream, and they're the most important person in the room. And so it was like a dagger to the heart, So when my wife said that, and it's you can't so. A little takeaway is when you are on the phone with somebody, they have got to feel like the most important person in the room. And great leaders, great communicators make you feel like you're the smartest, most important, most valued person in the room. Not, I'm trying to impress you with how smart I am.
Right.
And I definitely make that mistake.
Yeah.
So that's it's been a big aha for me here in the first quarter or the last month or so, that I'm working on. You know, for role play, I also just read the book. I had a sales trainer of mine, great mentor, great friend, did a lot of work with this guy, and he recommended I read this book, Spin Selling, for like 10 years. Yeah. And I was like, spin selling? Like, it sounds like I'm going to spin it. I was like, I ended up reading the book. Fantastic book. And I was like, terrible title. How many more millions of copies?
I'm going to put a spin on it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not a liar. I'm not a fake. Like, I don't want to read that book. I don't care what he has to say. Well, it ended up, spin is an acronym. So that's one of the things where we're going to head in role play is he gives a model. It's right in alignment with the 4-2 formula, which a lot of you guys have read, or all of you guys have read. Yeah. But he's going to help us understand why, how to dig deep. Okay, it's not just, here's the dig deep. Well, he breaks it down. Yeah. He breaks it down. So we're going to break it down. It's going to be fun. And you might get some homework.
Yeah, love it. Remember this. Don't be an educator, be an influencer. Yeah. Influencers change lives. Educators, you want to be educated, but don't just be an educator. Educator can just give information. Anybody can give information. Influencers, I'm changing lives. They're seeing value in how I can help them achieve that dream, achieve that goal, make movement in their life. You influence by asking questions, getting into the emotions, right? Am I educating you guys or am I influencing you? Right? Yeah, a little bit of both, right? But I'm going to bring it, right? So there's going to be total influence with some education too. We're always educating, but I'm going to influence you and understand that you have the power to achieve whatever you want. Period. End of discussion. There is some real estate agent out there right now that's doing $100 million themselves right now because they wanted to do it, right? So you can. All right. Jeremy has some great segues. We're going to move into conversations. This is where we're going to start. We're going to role play the conversation from the client and the ISA. So I'm going to choose, obviously Chuck's going to be the client care specialist. Andrew, I'll start with you. You'll just be the client, So Chuck's going to be calling you. You just entered in that you're looking at for $200,000 or whatever in 123 Main Street. Okay. You qualified them, and then we're going to transition it to another agent whom I will choose. Remember, transition is when you get there, you need to make impact with those folks. And so you're going to need to summarize briefly and dig in and understand a little deeper. Thank you, sir. So you guys start, and then we're going to transition it to an agent.
Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, good morning. Is this Andrew?
It is.
Hey, Andrew. This is Charles Everham, the client care specialist here at the Trembley Group Real Estate Firm in Myrtle Beach. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty well. How about you?
I'm doing excellent. I do appreciate you taking the call. I just wanted to reach out to introduce myself in regards to your inquiry through Realtor on 123 Main Street.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So just while I'm pulling that up on our MLS system, can you tell me a little bit more about what it is you and your family are personally looking for in the area?
Yeah, we're looking to kind of move to a little bit warmer weather, closer to the beach for sure, or at least some water. Wanting to stay around 250 price range. 200 would be better, but we're willing to go up to 250. And we're pretty open. We don't know the area very well. We actually have never visited before, but we just know that we want to be by the beach and we want to be in warmer weather. So that's pretty much where we're going.
Oh yeah, I can completely agree with you on that one. I'm actually originally from New Jersey myself. Where are you and your family going to be relocating from?
We're in North Carolina near the Greensboro area.
Okay, awesome. And if you don't mind me asking, outside of the beach and things like that itself, what else is kind of drawing you to the Myrtle Beach area itself?
Really just the price. It seems like the prices are very close to what we're at now in the Greensboro area, and we're just too far away from the beach. We love North Carolina, we love the area we're in, but like I said, it's always been me and my wife's dream to live closer to the beach, and if we can do that for the same or a little bit more, then that's what we want to do. So.
Well, yeah, we would love the opportunity to make that dream a reality as soon as possible for you and your wife. Just so we can make that happen as soon as possible as well, what are some of the ideal specifications and some must-haves you and your wife are looking for?
Let's see, there's not really a whole lot of must-haves. We're open to 2-story, single-family homes, of course. We'd like a little bit of yard, nothing too overwhelming, but something that has a little bit of yard to we have 2 dogs out and a 1-year-old, so it would be nice to have something to play, let the dogs out and then play in the backyard a little bit as well. Community would be important. You know, like I said, I do have a 1-year-old, so it's something perhaps with other children in the area, or at least a family-friendly community. Something that had maybe some amenities would be awesome as well. So that's kind of what we're looking at.
Okay, absolutely. And you know, amenity-wise, I'm sure you do know that does usually come with an HOA. I do always like to ask, do you have a monthly HOA with some key amenities that you're personally looking to stay within?
Well, here we have a townhouse. We do have a HOA of around $80 a month, but really they don't provide anything except for the little bit of landscaping, which is not much, and trash pickup, of course. So, you know, we would love a pool for sure. I mean, if it didn't have one, it's not a deal breaker because we don't have that now, but we would like one. And, you know, I know HOAs will probably be a little bit more having that said pool, so I'd like to keep it under 300, realistically probably 250 and under.
Okay. And you know, with what you're looking at, you know, primarily just having that pool, you know, it's very feasible. So we're definitely going to focus on, like you said, you know, that 1 to 2 story single family home. Most importantly, you know, 3-bedroom, 2-bath with some yard, so you guys can maybe build it out and have a playground for your children, correct?
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
Awesome. Well, yeah, we'll definitely make that happen. And I do like to double check just so we can stay in the ideal location. You know, you mentioned beach was most important, being very close. Mm-hmm. What is the ideal distance, or you know, how close would you and your wife like to realistically be to the beach?
I mean, the closer the better for sure. But like I said, right now we're 3 hours away, so literally anything closer than that would be good. But I guess 20 to 30 minutes wouldn't be so bad.
That's awesome. You know what? There's a ton of options, especially with your price range specifications. There's a lot of beautiful homes on the market, so I don't foresee you having any problems finding the right home, you know, especially with that price range specifications. The big question I do always like to ask, Andrew, though, is have you or your wife started working with any local real estate agents in the Myrtle Beach or Grand Strand area to assist you?
No, not currently. We just started looking. We definitely want to make the move. We've kind of decided that in our head, but we just started looking recently, so we haven't talked to anybody yet.
Perfect. Well, the main reason I do ask, as I mentioned, I do assist my full-time agent here at the Trembley Group. So what I'm going to do is definitely put them in direct contact with you after we get off the phone here. But just so I can make it as easy as transition for you with them as well, I do like to ask, were you leaning more towards a cash purchase or more towards financing on your new home?
It's going to be finance, and we typically use the VA loan. We've had luck with that with our townhome before, so we do VA loan finance.
Okay, perfect. Well, what we'll do then is the main reason I do ask that is we are partners with 2 amazing lenders here at the Trembley Group, and they have handled that VA loan. So we'll put you in direct contact with them today. Or when would you and your wife be available this afternoon? Would you say 1 p.m. or 4 p.m. will work best for you guys?
I guess 4, because my wife works at the school, so she'll be out by then. So 4 would work better. We have used USAA in the past, but you know, that doesn't mean we'll use them again. But I know they've done good for us. But yeah, we're definitely open to, you know, get some different rates or whatnot.
Oh yeah, as we always say, you know, regardless, even if you are, you know, have a preferred lender, we do always like to make sure you have that conversation, because just like you mentioned, they may have a better option that works best for you and your family. Does that make sense?
Right, absolutely. I mean, you know, saving money is a huge importance, but like I said, we have used them in the past, but if they're going to save me money and you guys work with them and recommend them, then, you know, that'll definitely be an option for us.
Perfect. Well, what we'll do then, if it's all right with you, I'm going to get that appointment set up for today at 4 p.m. Definitely get it squared away. And what I'm also going to do is I am in office right now with my full-time agent, Eric Graham. I'm going to put him directly on the phone. He's going to introduce himself, kind of summarize everything went over, make sure he's on the same page with you and your wife. And then we can kind of go from there and get you guys down here as soon as possible.
Perfect. That sounds wonderful.
Awesome. Give me 1 minute, Andrew. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and I'll put my full-time agent, Mr. Graham, on for you, okay?
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Boom. Take it away, Mr. Eric.
Hey, good morning, Andrew. How are we doing today?
I am doing wonderful. How are you, Eric?
I'm doing great, thank you. As Chuck said, I'm a full-time agent here at the Trembley Real Estate Firm. Just going to kind of summarize what Chuck had spoke with you about. I'm going to ask you some additional questions, and then kind of let you know what the next couple steps will be. Sounds good?
Yeah, sounds wonderful.
Okay, great. So right now you're living up in the Greensboro area, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Charles said that you really love this area. Tell me, what is something about that area in particular that you really love?
You know, it's pretty quiet up here. Everyone's really friendly. We're a little bit away from a lot of the hot spots like downtown Greensboro and things like that, but close enough to enjoy, going down there, seeing some of the, the sporting events, going to the arena. They've got a lot of good like breweries and things like that in that area. So we're far enough away, like I said, from the hustle, but close enough to enjoy it. So.
Okay, great. So would it be fair to say that within your new home that you're looking for, that you also want something that's quiet, friendly, not necessarily right in the heart of the Myrtle Beach tourist action, but close enough that you can get to some of the attractions in the area?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, this is the first time we're headed down that area, so we don't know the area very well, but we would like to, of course, enjoy some of those tourist attractions because we're pretty much going to be tourists for the first little bit as far as moving down that way. But yeah, we would like to be a little bit away from it as well. That sounds definitely ideal.
Okay. Now, you said you've never been down to Myrtle Beach before. What first got you interested in the Myrtle Beach area?
Well, I was talking to Chuck, and I was telling him that, the property values are very ideal in that area to what we're paying now. They might be a little bit more, but we're okay with that. And my wife has always wanted to move, closer to the beach. So we were looking to make that transition kind of later in life as far as retirement, but we noticed that we could probably do it now, so why wait?
Okay, yeah, I definitely agree. If you can, if you take action on something now, don't wait till that opportunity passes you by, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Now, Charles said you're looking in the $200,000 to $250,000 range. How did you guys come up with that number?
We got pre-approved for that amount when we bought our townhome, but we didn't know if we were going to stay in that area, so we decided, not going up that high, but we did decide to purchase a townhome. So nothing's really changed. Work is the same, and credit and all that is still the same. So I would imagine we would also be pre-approved for that, or if not a little bit more. But we'd like to stay around, between 2 and 250, but realistically more towards the 2, I would imagine.
Okay, gotcha. And then Charles put in here that also you something that was very important to you within the area is having a pool. You also have a 1-year-old. Is there any other amenities or things that you want within an area that's very important to you, not just you, but to your wife and child to have nearby for you, or within the community itself?
I would say, I know there's a lot of state parks in the area, so we would, if we could, we'd like to be close to, one of them. Let's see, school systems will be of importance, a few years down the road, so somewhere in a pretty good school district would be nice as well. So.
Okay. Have you started looking into any of the school districts yet?
No, we just began our search really, so I don't actually know what the school districts are like down there. So.
Okay. Well, I don't know, or I don't want to point you in one direction or another, but I have a great website that I can send over to you. At least can kind of help you identify some key points within the school districts and help you out with that decision.
Yeah, that would be wonderful because then we can really start looking, around those areas where the better school systems are for sure.
Awesome. Okay, great. Now Charles also put you're looking for the 3-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, and you said your work's going to be staying the same. Do you work from home?
No, I work for a furniture company, and I'm getting promoted, down there. So it's gonna be same work, but I'll be getting paid a little bit more. So
okay. And your wife, is she still working?
Yeah, she works for a school system. So she already got a job lined up with the Georgetown County school system. So
okay, great. Now, how with your wife having the job down in Georgetown, where will your office be at?
It would be Myrtle's Inlet.
Myrtle's Inlet. So are you definitely wanting to keep within that area, the Georgetown, Myrtle's Inlet area, or are you open up to the surrounding areas in Myrtle Beach?
Well, I don't know exactly how far away everything is from one another, but I would imagine we wouldn't want to really drive more than 45 minutes to and from work. I'd probably be the cutoff about that. Maybe a little bit more.
Okay, all right, great. That just helps me kind of narrow down the specific areas that we'd be looking for. I mean, I've never been to Myrtle Beach, but there's a lot of different communities within Myrtle Beach, and always want to narrow that down as best as we possibly can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and so with the 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, you're not needing any additional, like a Carolina room or anything like that you need for any extra space?
No, not necessarily. I mean, if it has it, then that's amazing. But nothing is a requirement. Of course, we just definitely need the 3 bedrooms because we'd like to work out in one of the rooms, and then my son in the other room, and then of course the master. So definitely 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, but everything else is pretty much open.
Okay, great. And Charles, I'll put down here that you have a dog, so assuming you probably need a decent sized yard, possibly even fenced in, or have the ability to fence it in. Is that correct?
Yeah, nothing too big because I hate mowing grass. But yeah, I mean something decent that I can let the dog out and he can run around, get some energy out. And like I said, if my son wants to play in the backyard, it's big enough to throw a ball, but nothing too crazy or anything like that. And a fence would be an absolute amazing addition. If it doesn't have one, then like you said, if I can build one there, then that would be great as well.
Gotcha. Okay. And then also, Charles had you're looking an HOA 250 or less. Is that right?
Yes. Okay. Absolutely.
All right. Great. So let me just revisit kind of what we have spoke about here. Let me know if I'm missing anything that would be crucial for me to know so I can serve you in the best way. Mm-hmm. So you're looking to get into a new single-family home within about 45 minutes of where you guys are working from, which is in the Georgetown Murrells Inlet area. You want that 3-bedroom, 2-bath house. It's got a little bit of a yard, possibly fenced in, so you can let your dog out and also have an area to play with your son. The community, you'd really like for it to have a pool, not necessarily a deal breaker for you. That's in the $250 price range. You'd also like something that's at least semi-close to a state park, just another activity for you and your family to be able to do. And we're looking in the $200,000 to $250,000 range. Prefer to keep it closer to $200,000, but could move up to $250,000 if we find the ideal home. Is there anything at all that any other bits of information would be really crucial for me to know about so I can serve you in the best way?
Not really, no. I mean, the only other thing I can think of is maybe the flooring. I mean, of course, flooring is a minor thing, so it doesn't have to, but, some type of like hardwood, laminate, tile mixture, with a young child and a dog. Rugs aren't really the best thing in the world, but if it has, we can, of course, tear that up and put down what we want. But if it has it in place already, then that would be a bonus as well. So. Gotcha.
I have a 3-year-old myself, so I fully understand how vital that can be. And sometimes it's more important for me than the child.
Yes, so. Exactly. I was just going to say that.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Well, let me. I don't know if Charles went over this with you, but what I'd like to do is send you over an invite to get onto the Trembley Group's website. Great thing about the Trembley Group's website in comparison to a lot of the other websites, I believe you were looking on Realtor or Zillow, is that the Trembley Group's website's a two-way street. Mm-hmm. As you're looking through homes, favoriting properties, not only are you doing that on your end, but that information is being passed along to me. That way, as you favorite property and I see you get a good collection of favorites, I can kind of look through, find some additional trends that maybe throughout a phone conversation that you're not going to think of, and then I can call you up and confirm that that's exactly what we're looking for. And then I can do a deeper dive into the MLS website as well too, if need be, find some additional homes that kind of hit the criteria that you are looking for. Now, one important question that I didn't have a chance to ask is, do you have any planned trips to come down to the area in the next little bit?
Yeah, we're going to come down in, not this weekend, but next weekend, actually. We're going to do like late Friday, so Friday through Monday we'll be in town.
Okay, great. And and Charles has you set up with the Anderson Brothers Bank to speak with them at 4 o'clock in regards to your VA, potential VA loan, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, great. So it looks like we're doing all the right steps to be prepared, have all of our ducks in a row for when you get down here, not this week, but the following weekend, so that we can take a look at homes and find that next perfect home for you.
Perfect.
I apologize, my mind just went blank.
It's all right.
It happens to the best of us.
You're right there. You're right there. Close it up.
Yeah.
Close it up.
So what I'd like to do, I'm going to get some listings sending over your way so you can take a look at them. Is the best time to get in contact with you tomorrow morning or afternoon?
Tomorrow. Probably afternoon.
Okay. Around 4 o'clock?
Yeah, 4 o'clock works.
Okay. I'm going to give you a call tomorrow at 4 o'clock just to kind of review, make sure the listings I'm sending your way are what you're looking for, see if there's any questions you may have, review some of the properties, and then we'll set up our next step from there. Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right. Andrew, it's been a pleasure speaking with you this morning. Look forward to speaking with you tomorrow at 4.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Good job, dude. Good job. That's a lot of information there, right? So we're going to dissect it a little bit. So from the room, yeah, that's a good job. That's a good job. You know I'm going to take it deeper though, right? So what else could Eric have asked?
I think Eric you did a phenomenal job.
Yep.
The one thing that came up in my mind is when Andrew said, all right, my office is in Merle's Inlet. My wife's working in the Georgetown, the city of Georgetown. I mean, from Myrtle Beach, that's a stretch. I mean, without including traffic, it's about 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. Including traffic, it can be up to an hour. Mm-hmm. So it's good for Eric when he would have to look on the south side of Myrtle Beach, which is like the very tip, the end. However, it would be nice for you to introduce, well, there's also the Merle's Inlet area. You're still close to the beach, you're still close to work. And like off 707, some of that area is still Myrtle Beach. So you're still in the city of Myrtle Beach as well. So just an
all right, I'm looking for something else. That's interesting. Okay. What else? There's some look. That's why we role play, right? That's why we do what we do. There's a lot of goodness in there. There were some details that we missed. What else? Yes, sir.
You want to wait anybody else to go first?
I don't know. Let somebody else go first.
Then I have one I saw. I thought he did really good. The only other thing that I would try hitting on, I know me and you talk about it, and I know he's been practicing a lot, which is good, is making it very clear. Now that we've had this conversation, I want to make sure that we get your wife on the same page. So you're going to be speaking at 4 p.m. with Anderson Brothers Bank. When are you and your wife going to be available this evening? I'm going to follow up at 4 p.m. to go over the listings, but I want to make sure that your wife's on the same page. When are you going to be available with her tonight?
Boom. Yep. It's good. It's really good.
Other than that was good.
I'm going to hit you with a couple of emotion things. This is, I don't think I may be still in the I don't think. But, so, remember, conversations, deep conversations, emotions. Had a 1-year-old child. Man, congratulations, Andrew. That's amazing. You guys that's your first child. Tell me about her. Tell me about her name. Right? How much fun are you having? Have you got any sleep? Right?
Andrew Taylor.
Remember, the straight line selling is rapport and product. I'm going to move it right back into product. But acknowledge their life.
Yeah.
Right? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then they also both have job changes. Right? Tell me about those. That's super exciting. We did not ever find out when they're actually starting those jobs. Did we? Right? We also didn't find out, so they have these job changes. He has the townhome. Does he have to sell it prior to making the move? Tell me about your current townhome.
That's when I went blank. That's what I was thinking before that. Yes.
Right? Yeah. So this is why we role play. Most real estate agents wouldn't do that good of a job as you did, but they would end up kind of in the same place, probably nowhere near as good, but somewhere in the same neighborhood. Meet the folks in town, have all these wonderful conversations and show them these wonderful places, and then Mr. Andrew says, oh, we've got these job changes. They don't happen until December. There's no way in hell we're making the move until we sell our townhome. Right? Yep. So tell me about your townhome. When did you purchase it? You're going to find out how much they owe on it. Is it going to get in the way? What, if anything, will get in the way of purchasing? So you have to. Like one of the biggest questions always, once you're getting and understanding them, is what if, now that you know them and you've built rapport and you've acknowledged the kids and you've had some fun, now, Andrew, what if anything's going to get in the way of you guys actually making this move now? You want to acknowledge too, obviously it was primary, but just acknowledge it. So based on what I'm hearing, this is going to be your primary move. That will open up the door to tell me about your current townhome. Right? Yep. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But keep the emotions in me. He's telling me about a new job. He just told you he's getting a pay raise. I'm like, super excited for you, man. I know that you and your wife have to be super excited. I'm probably going to even ask him, that's your first child. You guys plan on just staying at one child? Or I'm gonna bring in my experiences and have fun with it, but you don't have 5 kids, but you can bring in yours. I've got 5. Are you guys stopping at 1? Or what are you doing?
Slacker.
And they're gonna start laughing, but here's what'll happen. They're gonna be like, they're gonna laugh, they're gonna have fun with it, we're gonna get deeper, more emotional. And they're going to be like, I don't know, don't tell my wife that. She wants 4. And then Andrew's saying, I really only want 2. It's real, right? And then move it back into that townhome conversation. Yeah.
And the dog's name.
Yep. And
what kind of dogs?
And the wife's
name. How big are they?
So I took a lot of that.
That's HOAs.
No,
really good. The only other thing I can add to that is what problems do you have?
Yeah. Right.
What problems did you have in Greensboro?
You said you loved it, right?
Yeah, nothing really. Just the fact that we weren't close to the beach or water. Or,
yeah.
Yeah.
So I would even drill down there even more. Yeah. Remember, the big whys. Tell me about that. Is this something your wives want to do forever? Are you guys taking long walks on the beach? Or do you envision your kid being in the ocean every day? Why is the ocean a big draw? Just have fun with it too, right? Have fun with it, and then remember, move it back into product.
Right.
But let me tell you something. You cannot have a conversation and get folks here without understanding what's getting in the way of them making this move. And they got this townhome out there, Now, of course, you can move into it and say, well, we're planning on selling it. Well, let's talk about that. Have you put any thought towards actually purchasing prior to selling? A lot of our very smart clients are doing that now. Well, we hadn't thought about that. What is one other very crucial thing that we didn't do?
Have you talked to any of your agents?
Yep. Chuck hit that, but you didn't.
And I actually wrote down the question. What are you looking for within an agent? And I didn't even ask it.
But Chuck hit it. He said no. So in his notes, you could just verify it.
Yeah. Right? I should have asked what he was looking for with an agent.
You could. Yep. So there's something else in there that we missed. It's a very, very crucial piece to this whole puzzle. But you were right there. So here's the thing. When you learn about the townhome and you learn about everything they're doing, the job transfers, you got to find out when they are. And then here's one of the kicker questions is, Andrew, tell me this. You're making the job transfer by August 1st or what have you. How soon do you really want to be in this new home? All of a sudden he says, well, I'm making a job transfer, but not until February of 2019 because I want to be, commuting back and forth. Or he's like, can you get me in tomorrow? I'm ready to make this move right now. How soon could we buy a home? Mm-hmm. So what you're telling, and then I'm a big deeper. So what you're telling me is you're starting August 1st. You definitely want to be in the home, by the end of June or something like that. Is that sort of our timeline? That's it, right? So I'm defining the terms always, understanding, but that's not what I was talking about we missed. What else did we miss?
Is it something in LP Mama?
Yes, ma'am. He's coming down in 2 weeks. You're always, I don't care if they're coming that long, if they're 2 years, but yeah, they'll come down in 2 weeks. Set the appointment. You shared with him that you get back in touch with him in the afternoon to verify listings. Mm-hmm. They're coming down 2 weeks on the weekend. Sounds great. I work the weekends. My Saturday and Sundays are pretty busy. When are you guys getting in? Oh, Friday night? Great. Well, one thing I can do, sometimes I meet them late on Fridays, or else I can meet you, I meet my clients in the mornings on Saturdays. I have 9:30 or 11 on Saturday. Which time would you like to meet? We're going to go ahead and pencil this in. I want to make sure I give you great service and focused time. How does that sound? Sounds great. So we're going to do 11, And I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to take it even further, because I'm always going to dig deep. Now I'm going to say, Andrew, I'm looking forward to meeting you at 11 o'clock, right, on Saturday. Let's verify. I'm going to make sure that you have my cell number. I've got yours. If something comes up on my end, I'm definitely going to give you a call. I am super excited to help you, and we're going to be communicating in between now and then, just like I talked about the listings. But the minute something comes up on your end where something may change, I want you to call me. Sound good? You know, I want to be very, very close in this relationship. That's how we help each other. I am really looking forward to it, and then you can maybe say, is there anything else that maybe I missed, right? Yep. But don't get off the phone until you set the appointment. And it's not I'm going to call you tomorrow afternoon to verify listings. If you want to call tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to call you tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock to verify listings, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Specific details will move it. And remember, you're getting into the emotions all along the way. Emotions get them super excited, and then you're super professional getting those specific details. Agreed? Yeah. Anything? And that's great. Remember, I'm telling you it was great, right? I'm just here to help you get even greater. Yeah. Anything else? Let's do let's just do real quickly